Hey everyone, good Friday evening. Chief Meteorologist Luke Doris with you here and taking a live look over a quiet Kansas City. All right, we did not get the severe storms. Our cap held. We were telling you about that yesterday, and we talked about it today as the event was unfolding. Clock was ticking on storms, and if you have that lid that holds in the atmosphere, it's called a cap, and if that holds, you don't get storms. And we did not get them to form in eastern Kansas, west of Kansas City, and then move our way. Thank goodness they didn't. Where they did, which was north and south by about an hour or so from Kansas City, that's where we had cells that were able to develop and then take advantage of the environment. We had 2 confirmed tornadoes. So what I'm looking at here is I'm showing you the tornado reports. I'll show you the confirmed ones that we had. Look at this one that tracked all the way from northwest of Independence, Kansas, south of Emporia. We were on this storm for hours before it ever got to our coverage area, before we went live on television with it. By the way, I've got Facebook pulled up if you have questions or anything you want to say. I've got it right here. I can read your comments. So this is what we dealt with earlier today. That storm tracked right into Bates County. Southern part of Bates County had somebody had confirmed it. It was that I believe was a storm spotter had confirmed it there. Then it tracked into Henry County, and it weakened. So it was right by Appleton City, and then it went over just south of Clinton, and it weakened, and the tornado warning was dropped. But we did confirm that there was a tornado south of Butler. I'll zoom in on this. So just east of Rich Hill, between there and Appleton City. It may have gone up and down there a couple times. Not sure. There's not a ton of storm spotters down there. We didn't have a bunch of law enforcement. Another one that we had was up here in Maryville, all right, just southwest of Maryville, not Maryville, southwest of Maryville, Skidmore. There's Skidmore right there. So a law enforcement officer had spotted a tornado there. So there was a tornado-warned storm. It tracked toward Maryville, weakened, and turned into a severe thunderstorm. It had maybe some hail. We had commencement at Northwest Missouri State, so a bunch of students graduating today. And it was on a beeline for Maryville, and thankfully that one weakened. And then it went back up here and produced again. You see how these kind of track like that? That's what supercell thunderstorms tend to do, is they cycle up and down. So this went up into Iowa, produced some more tornadoes. Iowa was hit hard. My goodness, Nebraska was hit hard. Look at all of these. Around Omaha, you may have seen some video coming out of there. Lincoln had a tornado. Minden, Iowa has been devastated. North of Columbus, out here in north central portions of Nebraska, a lot of tornadoes. That's why, I read some of the comments, which is always dangerous, on Facebook after we went live. We had we did live coverage for about an hour, Warren Sears and I, as we had tornadoes that were confirmed in our coverage area. It doesn't matter if you live in Kansas City, if you live outside of Kansas City, if you're under a tornado threat, we care about you, and we're going to cover that. So that's what we did, and reading the comments, people are saying that why are we covering? Why is because we care about every county that's in our coverage area. And in between, look at the big gap that we had between those 2 clusters. That's where the storms did not form, thankfully. And it wasn't hype. My point with this is that's the atmosphere capability today, was to produce a number of tornadoes and large ones, and it did it. It just didn't do it in your area necessarily, in Kansas City, thankfully. Rich Hill Fire Department posted pictures of the Facebook there. Lee Summit tomorrow. Yeah, guys, the point of this update is now we're kind of looking ahead. Our severe threat's coming down quickly tonight, and then we're going to look ahead for tomorrow. So, yeah, Butler, I see you. I want to make sure everybody can hear me. It sounds like you can. We've had audio problems today. Is it going to continue to rain or not? Yeah, we have more rain on the way tomorrow. It could be really heavy. Lawrence, Kansas. Yeah, we're going to cover all this stuff. And Gladstone for tomorrow. It's my birthday, Amanda. Happy birthday. We're going to take a close look at that. Baser, Lawrence. Yep. I live in Skidmore. My dad took a few pictures of the tornado. Glad your dad's okay. Looked like on radar, it looked pretty bad. Looked like it had some strong rotation with it. Okay, you can hear me. Good. Okay, so the tornado watch, we're out of the woods. Kansas City, we're done tonight, all right? Everywhere that's not under the tornado watch, we're done. The reason why we have these 2 different spots where the tornado watch continues, that's not till 7, that's till 9. We're past 7. Sorry, I just came off of television, And my graphics are not updated, so let's get rid of that. These are until 9. Both of these spots are until 9. And let's check the radar and see that's where we have the 2 remaining areas where the atmosphere is still capable of producing storms. Yeah, Overland Park, Olathe, everybody. Yeah, we're going to hit y'all. So these were the storms earlier when they were kind of little cells all by themselves. They were rotating and they took advantage of the atmosphere. Now it's kind of turned into one big glob of storms. That's over by Sedalia, not severe, just garden variety thunderstorms. We've exited with the severe threat. That tornado watch even up in, I don't know, 40 minutes is all that's left on it. They may drop it early up here by Maryville. But up here in Iowa, you see that black box? That's a confirmed tornado. All these things up here producing tons of rotation and potential tornadoes and confirmed tornadoes. So we kind of got lucky, everybody. Really, that's kind of how it played out. We got lucky that these didn't line up a little further south. That's just the way the atmosphere played out today, and some of us did have tornadoes. Just didn't go over the highly populated areas. So this is what happened. Let me show you. I think this is it. Sorry, I'm trying to work through everything after having been on TV for so long. This here we go. I'm going to do a loop. I'm going to go over the past 3 hours. Let's go past 5 hours, if I can. Take us back. So we were watching the satellite, and I had this up at 5, had it up at 4, 5, and 6, how we had these 2 areas, and this was the zone. Hey, no storms were going. That's a good sign. And the clock ticked, and if we didn't get them to go by about 5:30, 6 o'clock, then it probably wasn't going to happen for Kansas City and immediately surrounding areas. And watch how they played out. They went ahead and did not. They did not form there, but it did north and south. So now we look ahead to tomorrow, and want you to know that tomorrow is, again, a severe weather risk day. So you might look at today and say, nothing happened. Nothing's going to happen tomorrow either. We hope it won't be a big severe day. But tomorrow we don't have the cap issue as much. I'm not saying everybody's going to get severe weather tomorrow. I think it's rather scattered, but we'll probably have another round anyway. Don't be surprised if tomorrow has another tornado watch. If it does, take it seriously. Just because it didn't produce in your neighborhood today doesn't mean that tomorrow couldn't be a threat. The timing's late in the day, 4 p.m. and through the night. Now the severe risk, this level 3 out of 5, this orange zone, that is really about 4 until 9 or 10. After that, the storm should kind of glob out, turn into a big bunch of rain, and the severe risk would still be there, it'd just be lower. But between about 4 and 10, we could have some cells with some large hail, some damaging winds, tornadoes, and then it turns into a flood threat. So let me show you this. This is how tomorrow looks to shake out. Here's tomorrow morning. We are now in a break. All right, so between now and Saturday midday, across the area, we are in a break from severe weather. All right, so tomorrow morning I think it's a nice morning. 65, it's a little breezy, it's mild, it's mainly dry. We could have some spotty showers, but they'd be real spotty, not a big deal. And then here's the afternoon, 81, and we will watch for storms after 3. If you have plans before 3, you're probably good. Again, some spotty showers, but the severe risk doesn't come up until later. Let's see how this plays out. Here's forecast track. And this is what the best computer models that you can get your hands on were putting out for today. They did have the storms firing all the way up until 0 hour west of Kansas City. And they didn't do that. So that was that cap. The cap won today. It does that sometimes. So now that's Friday evening. Here we are, 8, 9. We're done. It's all done. It's all out of here. We are now between systems, and we are in our break. So enjoy your break. I'll take you all the way. There's 10 o'clock. See that little bit of spotty rain? That little bit of spotty rain possible, but nothing strong, nothing severe. Here's noon. All right, so look over here to the west of Lawrence, and you start to see round 2. That's our next storm system. This is coming in out of the Rockies. It's powerful. The last one was powerful too. The one today was powerful. The next one's powerful too. And that'll bring us our risk in the afternoon. So let me show that to you. So now we're going to start up at noon on Saturday, and I'm going to take you through this event for what's tomorrow look like? What's your Saturday? What's your Sunday look like? Okay, this is how it looks to play out now. Now this is by 2. Notice these storms up here in Maryville and Bethany. Those could be strong. See the pinks showing up there? Those would be strong thunderstorms. That's 3 o'clock. That's where we could see some severe weather, potentially. 3's kind of early. I'm thinking probably later than that, but maybe as early as 3. And then you see this little cell down here by Ottawa. Doesn't mean it will be right there. It just means big picture-wise, some scattered. These are scattered thunderstorms. Not everybody gets hit by them, but they'll be around. But then we get into what I think will probably be the main event, which is there's 8. And the models today, the guidance today has been focusing the worst of the southeast of the Kansas City metro. So there's a chance that, again, tomorrow we have a tornado watch. And again, it may not hit the metro. It might be more, in a line from Ottawa to Chillicothe and south and east. Once we get to about, let's say 10 o'clock, see how you still have some pinks in there? That's 10, 11. Then those kind of fade out. This is midnight. The severe risk there is coming down. This is one big mass of thunderstorms. And this is heavy, heavy, heavy rain for hours through much of the night. This will come and go. Notice Kansas City and points north and west might just be on the very edge of this thing, and we don't get a ton. We're going to get rain. I'm pretty confident of that. Will we get the core of this really heavy-duty stuff? That remains in question. Better chance if you're south and east of the metro for Saturday and Saturday night. All right, so watch as this plays out. There we go through the night into tomorrow morning. These places, like I'm going back now, watch Warrensburg and Marshall and Clinton. I mean, it just keeps coming all night long until about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. So let's go back. Let's look at this for Kansas City. All right, Kansas City, here's noon, morning and noon, mainly dry, just some spotty showers. These thunderstorm cells by about 3 o'clock or so, 4 o'clock are possible anywhere in the area. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll be north. It just the forecast models right now painting that particular clump being north of the metro. But just know you could have some storms by about 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock. And then here comes the main event. I believe this will be the main event, and that's this one. All right, so kind of if you're planning your Saturday night in Kansas City, the general area, I'm talking Olathe, Lenexa, Overland Park, Liberty, everybody, might be on the edge of this really heavy rain complex. And with that, the possibility of severe weather. Okay, now let's get you to Sunday. Here's Sunday morning. That one moves out. There's the next one. There's actually, so we had one today, one tomorrow, and then one on Sunday. Sundays is still iffy. All right, so Sunday's not a washout. Saturday's not a washout. Again, Saturday's late day. Here's Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're all right. We've got some sunshine. The question is, will we get another round that comes through late day? All right, so watch this one. All right, so to our east, this is 4 or 5 o'clock. And then see this line coming out of Nebraska. That is the final gasp of this system passing through. Within that, we could have some hail and some high winds. Tornado threat right now doesn't look too high, but Sunday does still have a risk. I'll show it to you here. It's a lower risk. So Saturday is a top first warned weather day, has potential for a tornado watch. Sunday right now, probably severe thunderstorms, patchy, scattered severe thunderstorms, 3 to 10 p.m. would be the timeline there. In the meantime, we have a flood watch. This is for Saturday afternoon through Saturday night. Notice not everybody's included in this. If you're north of St. Joe, then you probably are, you're getting further away from that rain, that really heavy rain core. You probably don't get so much. But in Kansas City, points south and east, flood watch through Sunday morning. Here is the latest forecast from the National Weather Service on rain totals. This is going to be the next 3 days. This is additional rainfall. We've seen quite a lot. Really, last night we got quite a lot of rain, and yesterday an additional 1 to 2 to 2 to 3 to 4. You see how it increases southeast of the metro, so Warrensburg and Chillicothe. So by the time you tally up what we saw yesterday, last night, today, tomorrow night, and into Sunday morning, in some spots it could be a half a foot. So that's where we could have, and most of this falls Saturday night. That's where we could have the flood threat. That's pretty well the breakdown. Once we get past Sunday, it looks so much nicer. Let's show you the 7-day forecast here. All right, so we get to Monday. We're back into sunshine. This system's on out of here. See if it'll pull up. There we go. And 73 Monday is going to be great. Next week, we do have some rain chances. They're not high. I'll show you a Wednesday system. I don't see a severe risk here. Let's see if this will pop up. I was going to try to show you Wednesday. Not one to work. Wednesday, we've got a little system that comes through and may bring us some showers at times. Kind of looks like midday showers at this point, but that's 5 days out. We'll see how that one plays out, but not severe. In the meantime, that's what we have. Okay, so I'll go through this one more time, and then we'll get to some Facebook questions. All right, I'll try to get through. I'll hit a few Facebook questions quick. Brian Pattinson, a tornado in northern Missouri is not in the metro area. I do agree. That is not the metro. I don't know. Maybe I misspoke and said that. That is in our coverage area. People in northern Missouri, we are their designated television market, and it's not just for Kansas City. All right. So we cover all the way from up to the Iowa border and all the way down into Bates County and Lynn County and places like that. So if I misspoke, I apologize. But yeah, those are our responsibility too. This says Sunday, not tonight into tomorrow. Oh, maybe I chose the wrong graphic. Nebraska had a huge tornado. They had several huge tornadoes. Leawood for tomorrow. Still in the viewing area. Let's see here. Northern Missouri is in the viewing area. Yes, it is. What about Sedalia? Yes, Sedalia. You're in that really heavy rain threat for Saturday night. Let's see what else we have. Northeast Missouri looks like it could get an interesting Saturday afternoon. Yes. Severe risk. I actually think Northwest Missouri might have a greater chance. See what else do we have here. And then we'll go back to the top. We'll go through it all again. For those of you that are just joining us, Leawood for tomorrow. Chance for afternoon storms, could be strong to severe, and then a flood threat. And what else? Overland Park for tomorrow, same story. Olathe, all of that. Okay. What else do we have? How likely is it that Independence might have a tornado? That's a good question. Can you show the tornado chance for tomorrow again? Yes, I will. How likely is it for Independence to have a tornado? You know, whenever any one spot is chosen for a tornado, tornadoes are inherently somewhat rare. You know, you get days like this where you get a bunch of them. And they're also, they cover a mile-wide tornado is a big tornado. What are the chances of that mile-wide tornado going over one particular city? It's incredibly low odds. So whenever you see a big coverage area of a tornado watch, it just means that in this area, this broad area, storms that form could want to spin and produce tornadoes like they did today. But they're only in very isolated spots that they strike. So is there a chance for a tornado in Independence tomorrow? Yeah, there is a chance. There's a chance across our coverage area that we have more tornadoes that drop tomorrow. Any one location, in particular, taking a direct hit, the odds are low, okay? So it's a day where you just prepare in case it is you, like it was Skidmore and like it was in southern Bates County today. All right, Stephanie, tell your husband I said thanks. He sounds like a great man. I really like him. Is Olathe in the clear? Yes. Tonight we are in the clear in Olathe. We're going to go ahead and call it. The tornado watch has been canceled. Everybody, for just joining, I have Facebook up. Shoot me your questions. I'll answer them. So let's look back at what we had today. And if you were watching KCTV and you're thinking, what are we doing on TV? The reason why is because we covered, see this kind of highlighted area? This is all of our counties. We love everybody that is in this kind of highlighted gray zone. That's our DMA. That is our market, everybody in there. We are responsible and are happy to serve you with severe weather information. Whenever there's a tornado, life-threatening situation like that, we're going to walk you through it. If you're in Kansas City or if you're not in Kansas City, if you're in this zone, we're going to be there. What we saw was this tornado. You can see how it tracked all the way from south of Emporia northeast until it got into the lighter shade of gray. That was in southern Bates County, south of Butler. This was a confirmed tornado today, just east of Rock Hill, between there and Appleton City. That was one of two confirmed tornadoes. Notice the big gap because we had no storms in and around Kansas City. There was in two clumps, north and south. Then we had this one that was in Skidmore. Law enforcement officers spotted this one up here northeast of Mound City. Look how this one tracked and then produced more tornadoes all the way up toward Des Moines. All right, getting toward Des Moines. Look at Nebraska. Look at Iowa. They had tremendous tornadoes and tornado damage today. I mean, people's lives jacked up after after big, powerful tornadoes. I mean, just looking at the damage, it looks like they will be threes possibly. We never know until a survey team goes out and looks at them, but strong tornadoes in Nebraska, in Iowa, Minden, Iowa, Omaha. Lincoln had a powerful tornado. It didn't look like it hit anything, but it crossed I-80. So are we in the clear? That was the question. Yes, our tornado watch. Excuse me, everybody. I've been talking for too long. Tornado watch is canceled for Kansas City and surrounding areas. The only spots that it's left is until 9. That is down here in Bates County, looks like Henry County, and then also up here in Nottoway County, some of the surrounding counties up here. That's where we still have a little bit of action going on. Let's show you that. And it's going to be done there too rather soon. So we've got another half hour left on that. Let's see what the radar looks like. Nothing here looks bad to me. These are not strong storms that are outside of the tornado watch now. Sedalia, that's just regular old thunderstorms there. And the threat for storms looks like it's out of northern Missouri and is up into Iowa. Is that going toward? Yeah, there's a confirmed tornado. This is the same complex that dropped the one near Skidmore. Now is tracking with a confirmed tornado right toward downtown Des Moines, Iowa. Check that out. My goodness. Hate to see that. So that's the setup on radar right now. I showed this earlier. If you're wondering why did we not have storms in your area, in your house today, thankfully we didn't. But, you know, the thing was there's all this hubbub about it. It's because you saw what happened in and around us. It didn't hit, and when I say us, I mean Kansas City. It didn't hit Kansas City, but it was to our north, it was to our south. Big threat there, and we raise the alarm whenever we see that. Nobody knows if it's going to be in your town or the town next door or an hour north, those kinds of things on a day like this where you've got a broad area of favorable ingredients. The tornado watch was massive today. Just know that in that whole zone, it's possible, and there will be gaps in between. And we found the gap, thankfully, through much of Kansas City and surrounding areas. I'll go back 6 hours. I'll show you what happened. So we were talking yesterday, if you watched yesterday on TV or on the streaming, about a cap, a lid on the atmosphere. If that holds, you don't get storms. The cap held here in this little zone that I highlighted. We were watching this at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And if storms didn't form by a certain amount of time, it wasn't going to happen. It did not happen in that yellow zone. It happened north and south, and that's where we had tornadoes. Both of those, north and south, had tornadoes. If it had formed in the middle, if we had storms pop there, we probably would have had them produce tornadoes around Kansas City. Okay, so let's show you the rest of tonight. This is showing you what the forecast had for today. They were forecasting that the cap, that lid on the atmosphere, would break and that we would have these coming through. And a lot of these would have been producing tornadoes, most likely. It didn't happen, okay? So now we're at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We're winding down, all right? So our threat's wrapped up for tonight. We're in a break. We're in a break from now until Saturday mid-afternoon. We're between storm systems. So the parent storm system, the big one that's up in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, about 18,000 feet, that one's moving out and moving away from us. Our next one will come in tomorrow late day. So if you have plans between now and, say, 2 o'clock tomorrow, probably good. Now, this is noon on Saturday. And we see storms forming again in Kansas, southwest of our coverage area. And that will be round 2 that comes tomorrow. I want to highlight, you see these little specks of green? I'm not guaranteeing that tomorrow will be completely dry, but not a severe threat until after about 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or so. So your morning, let's show you your morning. It's mild. Saturday morning looks all right to me. 65, mainly dry, mild. It'll be breezy. And then here comes the afternoon. It's warm tomorrow, 81 degrees. Little gusty at times, and you'll probably be good with plans generally until after about 3 o'clock or so. This is, I did choose the wrong graphic, I believe. This is a Sunday. No, this is Saturday's risk. Okay, here's Saturday's severe risk. This is for late day, talking about 4 p.m. until about 10 for the severe risk. Notice it's as high as the risk was today. We may again have a tornado watch on Saturday. This is a level 3 out of 5 risk level. Large hail, damaging winds. The tornado threat is back for tomorrow. And then it transitions after about 10 or midnight into more of a flood threat. And because of that, we have a flood watch. Here's our flood watch. This is Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning, through this stretch. Everybody in green, including the Kansas City Metro. I really think it's more southeast of the Metro. Could get rounds and rounds of heavy rain and could see some flooding. This is the latest forecast from the National Weather Service. I'll show you a model here in just a second. The tornado area. You want to see the hatch? Yeah, it's a 10% hatched. Jorge, if he's asking about the tornado risk for tomorrow, if I can pull that up quickly, I'll show you. I don't have that graphic built because a lot of people don't know what a 10% chance of a tornado. It doesn't communicate well that you could have tornadoes. It sounds like a low chance when a 10% chance for a tornado is rather high. So let's see here if I can show you this. Sorry, everybody. Take a look at this. Show this for Jorge and everybody else that's interested in the tornado risk, just to kind of highlight how it's back again tomorrow. This will be day 2. Sorry, I'm having to build something. All right. And I'll explain what this means. Okay. This is not a pretty graphic. Forgive me for that. But you can see this is from the Storm Prediction Center. This is a part of the National Weather Service that is every tornado watch, every severe thunderstorm watch that is issued comes from the Storm Prediction Center, and they put out these outlooks, and they say, can you give you a gauge of how dangerous does a certain day look. And the tornado risk goes from 2% to 5% to 10% to 15% to 30% to, I think, 60 is at the top. You hardly ever see that. A 10% chance of tornadoes is rather significant. And then if you have a hatch, that means that they could be strong tornadoes, EF2, EF3, EF4, EF5. Notice how Kansas City, Maryville, St. Joe, Ottawa, we have the 10%, which is a notable risk, and the hatching for the potential for strong tornadoes. This is for Saturday. So, Jorge, that's what that means. That's what we have for Saturday, which is the same risk level that we had for today, by the way. Okay, so this is the rain for Saturday, mainly Saturday night. For Kansas City, I think we're kind of on the edge of the main core of really heavy rain, 1 to 2 inches additional on top of what we already had yesterday, and last night was pretty wet. So the total for this whole event through the weekend would be higher than that. 2 to 3 as you head south, and then 4 with pockets of 5 from Butler up towards Warrensburg. That's the official forecast. Now I'll show you the weather model. This is a computer forecast. These change all the time, so it's not good to just chase them. But to highlight how through, all right, tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, rather, this is up till 6 o'clock. Quarter, 3/4 of an inch, and then watch the big stripe come in. There you go. All right, now we're looking at an additional 3, 4, 5 inches in some spots. This is mainly Saturday night. So you tally that on top of what has already fallen, and in some spots by the end of the weekend we'll have seen over a half a foot of rain in just 3 days. Let's see how that looks on forecast radar. So give you a timeline. So here's Saturday at noon, and it still looks okay. If it'll pop up, there we go. And watch how we see these little guys up here by Maryville and southeast Nebraska, northeast Kansas. Those could be severe, could have some hail, some high winds. There's north of Bethany. Don't know that they'll necessarily be in that spot. They could be anywhere. That's just the threat for tomorrow for afternoon strong thunderstorms with that severe risk. That will linger up until this is 8. This is really the main rain event coming in. Likely heaviest southeast of Kansas City. I've seen that pretty consistently in the data. Notice we have the pinks still showing up at 9 o'clock. Could still be a severe risk. Probably not a big tornado threat by that point. That'll probably wind down by about sunset. But the hail and high wind threat would continue up till about 10. This is 11. And just look at the heavy rain. Whoever gets caught in this is going to have rounds and rounds for hours. It's just going to pour. I mean, there it is, 5 o'clock in the morning. Watch Warrensburg. I'll go back. Look at Warrensburg. Look at Clinton. Just keeps on coming. So this is starting at 8 p.m. It's in there through, let's see when they get a break. Clinton doesn't catch a break. All the way till, it's 12 hours of really heavy rain. Sunday morning starts to look better. The severe threat will be moving out. We'll watch for a potential iffy, maybe Sunday late day event. So Sunday is not a washout. Mid-morning will be drying out. This is 3 o'clock. Your plans on Sunday will probably be okay for a good chunk of the day. We'll watch for something near sunset. All right, that's 5, 6 o'clock, couple rounds and clusters of thunderstorms. This is the last gasp. This is the final breath of this whole event. So 8, 9 o'clock could have some hail and some high winds. Doesn't look like a big tornado threat. Then we get something called the dry line that comes through. On the backside of that, you get rid of all the moisture, you get rid of all the juice, you get rid of all the severe threat. And we'll be done by Sunday evening talking about severe weather for a little while. Won't that be nice? Here's Sunday's severe risk. Timing 3 till 10 for the severe threat. Flood threat will continue well into the night. So we have a first warn for that. That is a medium level impact. It's not as high as the impact for tomorrow. And I'll give you the 7-day, then we'll answer some questions. Then I got to go get ready for the 10. Got the 10 o'clock news coming up. Okay, here's your 7-day. Rain chance Saturday. I say count on rain Saturday, potentially really heavy depending on where you are. If you're northwest of Kansas City, I focused on where the rain is. I didn't focus so much on where it isn't. If you're northwest of Kansas City, you probably won't get nearly as much out of that one. That's the way it looks now. Then Sunday, 50-50 shot for showers and thunderstorms. They look scattered and kind of iffy. Kind of depends on how Saturday and Saturday night plays out. Monday's done. We're sunshine. We're dry. 73. Next week, low rain chances. I think Wednesday will probably have some showers, but they look kind of scattered, and I do not see a severe risk, and we will be done with it by then. Okay, let's hit a few. I won't be able to get all these. There's a bunch in here, but let's hit some questions. See if I can answer anything for you. Saturday day is safe in the metro. Yeah, I think largely until, watch it after 4. What about Excelsior? Prom is tomorrow for the kids. Yeah, again, prom's going to be late on Saturday, so, there is a severe risk during that. And prom, you got that. You've got the after parties. Storms will be around. Some of them could be strong. Then it gets a lot of rain. Not great weather. Not great weather for that. Ottawa. Yeah, be looking, same story for you. The afternoon, late day, and into the night for Ottawa. Although Ottawa, you're probably away from the worst of the rain Saturday night. You might be just on the west edge of it. Okay, let's go down the line here. Okay, husband seems to believe that the cloud cover may have had something to do with the weather staying calm today. Probably it could have, because we had a round of storms come through last night, and that does mess with the atmosphere, and you have lingering clouds, and then the atmosphere can't get unstable quickly enough. So it could have played a role. It probably did play a role. I think the bigger thing was where we had warm air about a mile above the ground setup. That's really what the cap is. It probably was just too warm in certain parts of the atmosphere west of Kansas City for storms to be able to bust through that lid. Are there concerns for tornadoes tomorrow? Yes, there are. Probably have a tornado watch. Sure doesn't appear in the KC Metro like another story of theirs. Got to pump up the drama. Not about drama, Thomas. We're not trying to do that. We just want you to be prepared. We got lucky today. Fortunate, I would say. And we did have 2 confirmed tornadoes. They just weren't in your area. And they weren't in Kansas City. Those are the kind of things that whenever you have a big risk like this, look at the general area from Kansas all the way up to Nebraska and Iowa. We were right in the heart of that thing. It could have been anywhere in there. So not drama, just want you prepared, because some people lost their homes today, especially to our north. And we did have confirmed tornadoes in our coverage area. Leavenworth in the clear for tonight. Yep. Tornado, we already talked about that. Let's see, what else do we have? Outdoor games recommended for Saturday. Oops. Yeah, outdoor games would be good until late day. What time are these storms coming tomorrow? Most likely after 3. And the most widespread will be at night. During the day, there will be patchy, they'll be scattered, and then most likely at night. Chillicothe, same story. Chillicothe, you're kind of on that. You might get storms a little sooner if they do that northern track. So I'd say after 2, you could have some storms in Chillicothe instead of necessarily 3, like I'm thinking for much of the area west of you. And then you're on that edge of the heaviest rain. It might be to your south, but storms around Saturday evening, Saturday night. Let's see, what else do we have? All right. All right. Okay, everybody. That's about everything that I see. We're going to have updates coming up at 10. I don't expect a tremendous amount of change. The story's kind of set for tomorrow, but we do have our updated high-resolution data come in all the time. I always like to share that with you. If we see anything new with watches or advisories that may come our way, I'm going to share that with you. So 10 o'clock, we'll have some updates. But that gets you the general story as we go through the rest of the weekend. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. We're going to be here all weekend long. I'm going to be here Saturday night, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be here. Warren Sears, he's here right now. Melissa Meter, we've got Savannah Tennyson, we've got Greg Bennett, the whole crew. We don't want to come in on our days off if we don't have to. I've got family at home. But, whenever duty calls and whenever we've got severe risk like this, we all play our part. And we're going to be here and giving you updates online. If you like these online, great. If you like them on TV, we're going to be there too. And anytime that it gets serious enough and could be kind of life-threatening, then we'll break into television. And in the meantime, you can always have the KCTV5 weather app and follow the storms there. Any warnings, good thing to have. Power goes out, something like that. You'll be covered. You'll have everything that you need. So we just want to serve you guys. Stay safe. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday night. I hope you have a great weekend. Take care.